Hi everyone, I'm your host Diva Danielle, and this is Community Link AZ. Thank you for joining the show. This is the internet show that's a resource for you to people, products, and services in your own backyard you might not even know of. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode. Each week, I'll introduce you to someone who is helping to make a positive difference in the community. We're going to have some fun, learn something new, and connect in a positive way. Let's start the show. Hi everyone, welcome to Community Link AZ. I'm your host Diva Danielle. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. If it's your first time to my channel, welcome. I really do appreciate you stopping by, but you can't just watch the videos. You gotta hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss an episode. As you can see, today I'm on location and I'm so excited to share this information with you because this newspaper has been a staple in the state of Arizona for 50 years. And I'm sure there are some of you out there who are just now tuning in saying, well, what newspaper is this? It's the Arizona Informant, and I am here with the publisher, Clovis Campbell Jr., and it's just nice to finally sit down and reconnect with you. So how are you doing, Clovis? I'm
doing great. I'm glad you're here to join us, and I want to tell our story to everybody that's listening today.
Yeah, it's great that you've been around for 50 years because we've all been through the whole COVID, and there are some businesses, especially small businesses or mom and pop businesses, that have not survived. But 50 years covering the African American experience, the Black experience in the state of Arizona had to have had its challenges.
Definitely. COVID was a pandemic that we can't wait to get rid of.
Right.
But at the same time, it made us a little bit stronger, made us do some things differently. One of the things we did was enhance some of our digital and social media presence. So it made us work a little bit harder, but the harder you work, the better you get.
Absolutely. So we want people to be caught up to speed, especially if you've never heard of the Arizona Informant Newspaper. It's an amazing newspaper that has covered history in the state of Arizona and the Black experience for 50 years. So we want people to understand and get to know a little bit about the paper and the passion that you follow behind it because you've been doing it for so long. So tell us about the Arizona Informant.
Well, like you said, we've been here 50 years, and it was started because there was a void. We had some other Black newspapers earlier before the Arizona Informant, but they all kind of died off because their publishers died or the family moved on or did something different. So we picked up the paper in 1971. We bought it for $1. It was just a name in itself.
Right.
And at that time, my dad was in the state legislature as a state senator, and the stories about Black people just weren't being told. And so he wanted to make sure that not only were they told, but were they told with a positive spin on it. Show some of the good things we do in our community, and not just us being thrown in jail and things like that. So from that, spawned the fact that I jumped into it with him as a young kid, delivering newspapers door to door, getting chased by dogs all the time.
Yeah.
And we've grown to where we are now, 50 years later.
50 years. And I love the fact that your father had insight to say we want to show the African American, the Black experience in a positive way because there's so much good that comes from our community that people don't get a chance to see because of the way we have been portrayed.
Well, and that's key, is the fact that our thing is that we record Black history every week. And so every time you see a story in our newspaper, a picture of somebody, that's us recording our history the way we know it and the way we see it. And it's important that we tell our own stories, because if we let somebody else tell a story, the history's going to change a whole lot.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that you've been able to see throughout the years. There's been some historic moments, some landmark moments, some moments that have changed the trajectory of the way, African Americans are perceived, the positions we've been able to hold, and it's also helped us gain new ground. Yeah. So if you want to just pick out maybe one thing that stands out right off the top of your mind, because I'm sure there's several.
There are several. One of the key ones, though, and it's the first thing that happened was when we came out in 71, that was also the year that Mr. Calvin Good was first elected to the city council. And as you know, he sat there for almost 25 years in that seat. So that was a big, monumental moment in our community because he held that seat for 25 years, moved on to Cody Williams, and then Mike Johnson picked it up. So it was a monumental time for us that day.
It's good. It's just nice to see that there is a platform here in the community. So again, if this is your first time checking out my YouTube channel, That's what Community Link AZ is for. I bring you resources of individuals, products, services, and people in your own backyard you might not know of. In the Arizona Informant, even though it's been around for 50 years, we always have people that have moved here for the first time, come to the state of Arizona, and they're just discovering the newspaper. What are some of the things that you've been able to cover going forward that has really set the paper apart or gave us that stamp to say, wow, I didn't even know that black people were even in this sort of realm? Because a lot of people still kind of put us in a corner.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the obvious thing that everybody talks about in Arizona is that we didn't have a Martin Luther King holiday.
Right.
And so with that being said, the boycott actually started with the black press here in Arizona. We were here to have our midwinter conference in North Phoenix. And at that time, we had a board meeting, and the same day, Governor Ed Meekum rescinded the holiday, saying, oh, we don't need to honor this man, he's not worthy. And so our owners of our black newspapers around the country elected to stop their meeting, pull up roots, and say, we're not going to have any other meetings here in Arizona, and we're going to encourage every other organization to stop doing business in Arizona until we get this Martin Luther King holiday passed. So from that spawned that, and as you know, everybody thinks of Arizona as, you guys never had a black holiday, you never had Martin Luther King.
Right,
so
absolutely.
What do we do now? So we've been around and we've been doing those kind of things for the last 50 years.
I love it. It's just a great testament to say, we shall overcome. We're not going to sit on our laurels. We're going to press forward. You're celebrating 50 years, so let's talk about that. The gala, what are you looking forward to, and what actually does 50 years mean to you?
Well, first let's talk about the 50 years. 50 years means to me that we struggled and fought and survived.
Right.
As you know, a lot of people talked about the demise of not only the black press, but newspapers after the digital stuff started to come out. So you talk about, well, everybody's going to websites, nobody wants to see a newspaper anymore. Right. But it's something about people seeing themselves in print that makes them go, wow, I really have made it. You know, when anybody can put themselves on a camera and take pictures of themselves and post it up on Facebook, Twitter, etc. But when you see it in a paper, a reputable newspaper that's been around, that's recording your black history, then you really have an opportunity to go somewhere. And so we're looking forward to doing that more and more. So 50 years means we're continuing to do black history, we're continuing to support our communities, we're continuing to champion our children and our leaders in our community the way we do.
I love that. And so 50 years, once again, they're in the community. We want people to support you. We want people who are just now maybe stepping into that entrepreneurial field and they have a business they want to promote to advertise with the Arizona Informant. Absolutely. So how can they follow you on social media, get a hold of you, and what do they need to know about this?
Well, our website is azinformant.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter as well, and so you can catch us there. All that information is on our website. But the key about our 50th anniversary you asked me about earlier was that it's going to be a celebration of those 50 years. And we're going to go from decade to decade, highlight some of the folks who've been here for a long time, a few new people, but we're also going to enjoy looking at some old photos. Our MC is going to be former city councilman and now Judge Cody Williams, who has been here with us through the whole 50 years. So we're just going to have a day of celebration, a night of enjoyment and remembering and reflecting and looking forward to 50 more years.
50 more years. And Clovis will still be here. Positive is as positive does.
Absolutely.
I love it. So there you go. It's been a great time just sitting and talking with you. And you are a part of Arizona history. Your dad started it. You're continuing it, and then sooner or later he's going to pass the torch, because I don't see the Arizona Informant, going by the wayside. People, like you said, love to see themselves in print, and when you have a tangible copy that you can hold and show people and carry along as a memory, that carries weight and that means something. So again, thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Look forward to seeing this and seeing you more often. It's great to see you again as well. I miss you.
Yeah, this is good. So again, thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. This is Community Link AZ. I'm your host, Diva Danielle. And again, please just don't watch the videos. Share them with your friends, your family, and anyone who perhaps maybe just moving to Arizona so they can get to know these wonderful, positive individuals in our community making a difference. This is the Arizona Informant. This is Clovis Campbell Jr. I'm your host, and I will see you next time.